Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto. Okay, so I'm just looking at the price of Bitcoin against USD on the ByBit perpetual chart here on TradingView. And I think we're getting near a local bottom here, so I'm looking to take a long trade. Now that is an alert from one of the indicators that I will show you in a moment, but it basically means look out, we might go up. I mean, the price of Bitcoin was obviously amazing towards the end of last week, and then Trump dropped his bombshell on Friday with the tariff news and also the Chinese import news and all that, and the price did actually drop by about $3,000. So it was a hefty drop actually. We're down here now, so we're looking for a bottom. So a couple of things. I'm going to put on my moving averages. If you want to see how to set these up, just look at the video that's linked at the end of this video, and you'll find out how to set these up. So at the moment on the, let's look at the 1 hour. On the 1 hour time frame, we've had this cross of the green and yellow lines here. That's a 21 and 55 EMA. Now, while they're crossed like that, I am expecting more downside. So what I really want to see is this turn around in a similar way to what it did down here, for example. So I'm looking for a bottom like that. Now, I've been using this indicator called the quad rotation stochastic, and just to confuse matters, there's two here, right? So I'm just going to hide this one for the moment, and we'll talk about that shortly. Okay, so this is an indicator that I find really useful on the kind of lower time frames, although the 1 hour time frame does show some interesting stuff. Like at the top here, you see these red straight lines here. That's where it's detected bearish divergence, and usually what I've found is when they stop appearing, that's when the price falls down. So they were like quite heavy on this climb all the way up here, and then it kind of stopped there, then the price came down. Now we haven't got any green ones at the bottom here yet, not like we had say back here that helped push the price up there. So we haven't got that yet. So let's look on a smaller time frame. Generally with this indicator, I like to look at the 1 minute, 3 minute and 12 minute. And you see here, once again, I'd look for these like green lines like that. At the moment, there isn't one. Okay. Now, ideally, what I'd love to see is something like this here. Let's just make that bigger. So here you've got like a little green arrow and a red cross. Okay. Now, if you look at the about this script for this indicator, you will see these explained down here. So the green arrow is a super signal. Okay, so that's when all four stochastics align in extreme conditions and slope in the same direction. The indicator plots a special super signal offering high confidence entry opportunities. Okay, so we haven't got that one yet. Now where you get those crosses, that's this here. This is the ABCD pattern recognition. The script recognizes shield patterns when stochastic 4 remains stuck at extreme levels above 90 or below 10 for a set time, warning of potential trend continuation setups. Okay, so that's when they appear. So let's just have a look back at the indicator. So there's a red cross there, and there's the green arrow as we pointed out, but at the moment we haven't got any of those on the 12-minute time frame. Now what I do like to do on TradingView is to have a setup where I've got these two panes side by side, and I'm looking at the same thing, but it's the 1 minute and the 3 minute time frames. So this is where you start to see a lot more of these signals, obviously because the price is moving quicker. Now here we have got this green super signal here on the 1 minute time frame, and we've just got one on the 3 minute time frame as well. Now quite often what you see, even on this very, very small time frame, you sometimes see a kind of little tiny double bottom, and the price might come down here again. Now, as this red stochastic here is starting to go up, I think I should go long now. Now I'm going to put in half the capital here at the price we're at pretty much now. See if that one fills. Okay, and there you go. I do like to use a limit order for these, and generally what I do is I just pick a price out of the order book there, somewhere down the bottom. And using a limit order makes things much cheaper than doing a market order. So if you can, use a limit order. Okay, so there's the trade now. It's only 226 margin, so we're currently 1.37% in profit. Now what I sometimes like to do is, just in case the price double bottoms, is I'll put a second order in a bit lower at say 106.881. So 106.881. I'll put the rest of the money in there. So if the price comes back down here again, it will scoop that other order up. And I was obviously a bit too hasty with the first order, because that is exactly what happened. The price did come down and fill the other order. So currently pretty much a break even, but we're now trading with $454 of margin. Now this means I haven't got anything left to play with. This is because this is only a small account here. Normally I wouldn't do this if it was a larger account. I'd just be using a fraction of my trading balance. But this is obviously the sort of worrying part, when you think, have I actually caught the bottom or not? Let's go back to trading view, see what we can see. Okay, well on the 1 minute time frame, it did actually put the green bullish divergence in there, but we still haven't got it on the 3 minute yet. Let's just check the 12 minute. See, we've got no particular symbols yet on the 12 minute, but you can see that all these stochastics are right down the bottom here in the extreme oversold territory. So I would expect this to turn around reasonably soon. Let's wait and see. Now I have sped this bit up by 50 times, which is why the price is moving so quick, but you can see what's happening anyway. Okay, so what I've done here is I've sped up the video 100 times so you can see what's going on. So I've got the 1 minute and the 12 minute here, and what I'm looking for in the 1 minute is looking for the EMAs to cross over the yellow and green, which they just about did there. Now you can see here that what happened is, when they did cross over here, is, the price went up and then it came back down. Why was that? Well, if you look down here at the quad rotation stochastic, you can see this red line here, which is where it had detected bearish divergence. Okay, so as soon as that finished, the price came down, which is the opposite of what we were looking at here, wasn't it? Now, wouldn't it be good if you could actually see the kind of strength of these divergences? Okay, so that's where this new version of the quad rotation stochastic comes in. Now this has been modified by my friend Math. Now this is a version of the script that is not publicly available at the moment. This has been modified by my friend Math here. Big shout out to Math for doing some excellent work. First of all, he's upgraded the version of Pinecode that it uses, so it now uses Pinecode 6 rather than Pinecode 5. But what it has now is this extra parameter here called maximum divergence line width. Okay, so he's put a cool little tooltip there saying the greater the divergence, the thicker the lines on a scale from 1 to this number. So it's on a scale from 1 to 10. Okay, so what we can see here is that, down here, these green bullish divergences here were quite strong and thick. And this red one here that I was just talking about, if we look at that on this one, it's a bit hard to see because you've got that there. Let me just tidy that up by, first of all, not showing that. And also, let's lose that. Okay, that just makes the title smaller. So you can see now that this red bearish divergence wasn't particularly thick. In fact, that looks thinner than it was there. Okay, so in a way, we saw the price go up on that cross, but we were looking out for the bearish divergence to finish. We knew that when that happened, the price would pull back, but because that wasn't so strong, we weren't going to expect such a big pullback. Okay, which indeed we got a little pullback and the price went up. Now I'm testing these both out to make sure they both behave the same. As much as I trust Math, I just want to check that nothing is broken. But I will update the script once I'm absolutely 100% sure that everything's working fine. So do grab this indicator. It's called Quad Rotation Stochastic. It's free, of course. And if we look at the trade now, it should be in profit. Okay, only $15, $16, but 3.54%. That's okay. At least it's going the right way. Okay, so like an hour or so has passed since the last part of the video. So I'm now waiting for the yellow and the green EMAs to cross on the 3 minute time frame. And it looks like that's going to happen. Okay, so this is looking pretty good so far. So since they crossed over, we've had like 3 candles. This third one is about to close in 10 seconds time. and the price is going up, which is great. So here we go, 3, 2, 1, and that one's closed. So let's take a look at the trade. So the trade is now $46 in profit, which is 10%, so that's good. So I think at this point I can comfortably put a stop loss in profit, maybe around about here, 107, 132. And you can see here that if the price comes down there, it will still make 3%. Now what I'd be looking for here is a crossover here, maybe on the next time frame up, something like the 5 minute. And the 5 minute is pretty reliable. Although what I don't want to see is kind of what happened here, where it crossed bullish and then failed. So I will keep an eye open when that happens. Now there does seem to be some sort of hesitation as these are getting really close. So maybe it makes more sense to look on the double view, look at the 1 minute over here on the left, and on the right have the 5 minute. And see what happens. Because what I'm looking for is, you know, this kind of thing here where you get the bearish divergence detected. I mean, at the moment there isn't anything there. So we should be okay for a move upwards. Maybe it'll do it on the next candle. Let's come back in a few minutes. Okay, so it's about half an hour later now, and that actually did cross over quite nicely, and we're getting a move to the upside now. So what I do here, I'll probably look for, like, you know, my next favourite time frame up, which is probably something like the 7 minutes. Then I'd look for a cross there, and if we stop getting these at some point, then, you know, I'll think about taking profit or closing the trade. So that's the plan. So let's just see how the trade's doing before I close the video. Okay, this is looking great to me. It's $55 in profit, 12.58%. I think for a Sunday morning, that's not bad. So at this point, I'll probably just keep moving the stop loss up a little bit. And by the way, I'm trading this on BitUnix. BitUnix is a great exchange. You don't have to do KYC, so you don't have to tell them who you are or where you live. You just need an email and a password, and then you're in. Now, in actual fact, what did happen was the price wasn't looking particularly strong, and it came back down, hit my stop loss back here, and closed. It did close in a profit, of course, so 5.4%, which is $24. So not amazing, but that's okay for a Sunday. I'll take that. And I am only trading with $400 or so worth of USDT. But I think that was a good demonstration of how you can use these moving averages and this quad rotation stochastic in conjunction with each other to try and find a bottom. So what I'll do, I'll keep looking and I'll try and find another one and do it all over again. And obviously, if I can make 5% again on the money I've just made, keep doing that every day, you'll soon have lots of money. If you like the sound of that, please do give the video a like. Make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications turned on. Any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And please do give the video a big fat like. And above all, tell your friends.
Save with Crypto has to be one of the best YouTube channels that the United States has ever seen. Kamala Harris is not a subscriber, but I am. I have notifications set to all as well. I'd strongly suggest you subscribe to Save with Crypto today. Above all, you should tell your friends.
Save with Crypto is not a financial advisor. He just makes ice cream on the internet.
And what is the problem with ice cream?
I have no idea.
It drips.
Okay.
So my idea is what?
Need to make a drip-proof ice cream.
No. Oh, that's a fucking brilliant idea.
If you cannot find someone to do your own research, you must do it yourself, just like I did not.